Hey everyone, welcome back to another explainer. Today, we're tackling a massive, incredibly common frustration for anyone putting in hard work at the gym. We're looking at a huge bottleneck in upper body growth. It's called the forearm bottleneck. We're going to break down some seriously insightful advice from fitness channel Xenox that will fundamentally change how you look at your arm routine. So let's just start with a kind of harsh question right out of the gate. Why do your arms still look small? I mean, let's be honest with ourselves. You're putting in the hours, you're eating right, you're sweating it out, but maybe you're looking in the mirror and wondering why the results just aren't matching the effort. You're giving maximum intensity, but the growth just seems to have stalled out. So what's actually going on here? Well, picture this. On one hand, you have your heavy compound lifts, your normal curls, your push-ups, those heavy bench presses. You're doing all of these until you're completely exhausted. But here is the brutal reality. Your grip fails first. The source data points out this incredibly frustrating fact. You might actually have the chest strength for 5 more bench presses, or the bicep strength for 3 more curls, but your hands just give out. You literally cannot hold onto the weight long enough to properly stimulate those larger muscle groups. What this all means is that forearm weakness is the ultimate growth bottleneck. Think of your body like a physical chain. A chain is only as strong as its weakest link, right? If your forearms are underdeveloped, they instantly become the failing point of that chain. Your back, your chest, your biceps, they're all effectively handcuffed by what your hands and forearms can handle. Your upper body literally cannot grow past the limit your forearms are setting for it. And our source material hits the nail on the head with this exact quote. If your grip fails first, your arms never grow. I mean, wow, it's so definitive. If you drop the bar because your hands are tired, your biceps haven't actually been pushed to the point of absolute failure. They haven't been forced to adapt, and they haven't been triggered to grow. You're leaving all those hard-earned gains on the table simply because your grip tapped out early.
But hey, here's the good news. Overcoming this massive bottleneck and breaking through that frustrating plateau really only requires a highly efficient 2-move strategy. Just 2. We aren't adding a whole hour to your workout, and we don't need any crazy specialized gym equipment. Less is absolutely more here, provided you do the right movements.
Okay, let's dive into this. Move 1. Dead hangs.
This is our first foundational movement to build pure, raw power and finally fix that weak link in the chain. The setup seems almost too simple. Step 1, grab a bar. Step 2, hang. Step 3, wait until 20 seconds in. For the first few seconds, it feels incredibly easy. You're just hanging there. But our source specifically highlights what happens as you keep waiting. Right around that 20-second mark, gravity starts fighting you hard. Your forearms start burning. It stops being a relaxing stretch and instantly becomes a brutal, intense test of sheer willpower and physical endurance. That 20-second mark, that's where the real growth begins. So why are we just hanging from a bar until it burns? First off, it builds crushing grip strength. It directly attacks the exact bottleneck we were just talking about. You're training your hands to never be the weak link on a heavy lift ever again. Second, it hits every single forearm muscle at once. You don't need 5 tiny, different wrist-curling isolation exercises. This one simple, punishing movement gives you a massive return on investment by firing up the entire forearm musculature all at the exact same time. Let's move to our next exercise. Move 2, reverse curls. Now we're going to see how this builds our aesthetics. While the dead hang is all about raw grip power, we're now targeting thickness. We've built the foundation to hold on to the heavy weights. Now we want the size to match. It's punchy and tactical. Pronated grip. Curl it up. A pronated grip just means your palms are facing down toward the floor. Instead of a standard bicep curl where your palms face up, you completely flip your hands over. Grab the weight with your palms down and curl it upward. This totally alters the leverage and shifts the primary workload directly into the lower arm. Now, what's really interesting about this is the specific anatomy we're targeting, the brachioradialis. As the source highlights, this is the exact muscle that makes your arm look thick from the side. When people complain about having, skinny arms, even after doing hundreds of standard curls, it's often because they're only targeting the front profile. The brachioradialis acts like a thick, muscular band on the top of your forearm that crosses the elbow. When you build this up with reverse curls, it adds massive depth and 3D thickness to your arm's side profile. It is literally your secret weapon for huge arms. Which brings us to our final philosophy. Real growth, no gimmicks. We live in an era of fitness where people constantly invent overly complicated movements just for the novelty of it. But the source firmly rejects all that fluff. No fancy exercises, no useless pump, just real forearm growth. We are leaving the gimmicks at the door. A superficial pump might look great for 20 minutes in the gym mirror, but it's completely temporary. It doesn't mean you've built structural integrity. By focusing exclusively on dead hangs and reverse curls, you're choosing permanent, real growth over a fleeting, useless pump. You are choosing actual functional strength.
So, as we wrap up today's explainer, I have to ask you, will you keep chasing useless pumps, or are you ready to finally build the foundation your arms actually need? The data is crystal clear. Your arms simply won't grow if your forearms are weak. The bottleneck is real, guys, but the solution is right in front of you. 2 fundamental moves: dead hangs for crushing grip, reverse curls for thick 3D arms. Stop letting your grip hold your upper body progress hostage. Try these 2 targeted movements out next time you're in the gym and watch your arms finally unlock their true growth potential. Thanks so much for joining me today. Keep focused and keep learning.